Assault is a bitch of a skip. However, recently it turned out that the fastest method of doing Assault skip, found by Snowfats, is also the most consistent way of doing Assault skip. So I have to redo this tutorial here, and I hope everyone appreciates that. So, there are many steps to this, and please pay close attention to every single one. First thing is you walk through the door on the left. Walk through the door on the left, and then you stand here for a bit. As you can see, the door opens back up. If you walk through the door on the wrong side, it doesn't open back up. It just stays like this, down. We don't want that, we want the door to open upwards. Next up, we lock onto this man. This can happen. Please ignore the shitty ass RNG that can happen here. We lock onto this man and wait for him to see us. And then we wanna like shuffle around here with him, do a little dance, and punch him straight into the door. This requires some practice, but it's made incredibly easier by letting him approach you really closely. So when you're standing here, like, you walk down here and stand here for a while, right? Let him approach you really closely. Because then he won't just randomly lose sight. And if he follows you closely, first of all, if he follows you closely, he will walk through the door on the right side and not close it again on you, which is important. And also, if he loses sight somewhere in this room, he will just like walk straight up or something, and you will have a very hard time to react to him and punch him into the door. So, oftentimes on Hotline, what seems especially... I can't do this while talking, I'm sorry, it's not that hard. Oftentimes doing it the hardest way, or what seems like the most dangerous way, turns out to be the most consistent way. Because you're eliminating so much RNG. That's not quite it. But these are the first few steps, and you need to practice these. As you can see, the right way of punching him is so that he lies straight up, or like, he lies in the middle of the door. If he's like touching these sides, you will not make it. You will not clip out. Sometimes it can happen that he lies like diagonally like this, but that also means that his torso is kind of middle-ish of the door, you will see. When you clip out, you have to pick up the baton, at least in most cases. It can happen when you try to execute him by hand. We don't know why, but it's random when the game lets you clip out. But with the baton, if you've actually lined him up correctly in the door, it's consistent. So you pick up the baton, kill him with 3 hits, and get out. And then usually, that's the plan with this strat anyway, the next guy will already be here to come after you, and you should be outside by that point. And we just punch him, and then the next step is to actually get him over here to the car. Like on Push It. On Push It you use, like, you intimidate him because he's unarmed. You intimidate him into walking over on top of the car. You can't really do that here, at least not the way I do it, because like when I see him approaching me, I throw away my baton somewhere where he can see it. So I can never have him completely unarmed. He will always run to one of the weapons lying around. So the trick here is to lie down, like lay on the floor, a melee weapon, or any weapon really, so that he will go after this one instead. And then you sort of gauge his movement. He will walk like something like this on this line over here, like this, and you want him to go there. So you sort of imagine his line of movement like this, and you position yourself not on top of the line, but beside of the line, and punch him this way. And with punch him this way is, I mean, you punch him at the right time, because where you look doesn't really matter, where he looks doesn't matter, it just matters your where you are positioned compared to him, and he will go straight away from you. So even if you punch like this, but he's standing over here, he will go this way, so kinda as if you always lock onto him. This needs practice as well, but you'll practice this on Vengeance. My Vengeance... I will have to redo my Vengeance tutorial as well, actually. Yeah, as you can see, if he loses you, it gets really ugly. Yeah, Assault often gets ugly. The chances here are not... The chances for this to succeed are far from 100%. You'll just have to get used to this. And when the door is closed like this, that also sucks. And then you'll have to do like weird things, a bit like on Neighbors. Like move him around, have to knock him over into the door. And if you fail to lure one of these guys immediately, and the doors happen to be open, just stand outside of the level. Just stand outside of the level, and one of the guys on the very bottom, there are a few patrols, they will see you eventually, so you'll get, I don't know, like a 24 second assault skip. If you're watching this tutorial, that will be fine for you. If that is not fine for you, you should have understood this level by now, sorry. Yeah. And then you can do the same thing, even with gunmen, you just punch them over here, drop their gun here, and do the same thing. Yeah. Is there anything left to say? I don't think so. Except that this requires a lot of practice. Please practice this a lot. Like, take a day or 2 or 3 before you do this in runs, because you will hate yourself. And you will hate Hotline, which is understandable, but there's no point. There's a lot of RNG here. You saw me die a few times, it's going to be expected. The easiest way of approaching this level is to just hope for the right RNG. Oh, and one more thing. One more thing, when you practice this, practice by choosing the mask every time. Don't try to practice this by not choosing the mask, because then you get this guy here with hypersensitivity. He will crash your party, because then you do this. Okay, it didn't happen this time, but this happens often, that he will react way too early and kill you while you are clipping out. However, if you include the mask selection, he's right about the furthest away that he can get. Hello. Yeah, I had good luck there. With bad RNG, I'll let you figure out bad RNG for yourself. So yeah, please practice by including the mask selection every single time, because that's how the run is gonna be anyway. Okay, good luck, and if you have any questions, hit me up on Discord. My Discord is on my speedrun.com profile.